So what does it mean to be emotionally successful? Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jeff Kim, and it's been kind of a long day for me. Two great conferences that I had a chance to visit. The first was through South Coast Chinese Community Center, and all the candidates from Irvine had a chance to share and get to know the community. And the second was the Stronger Together conference, and that's where the question came up: what does it look like to be emotionally successful? When it comes to the Asian American community and we talk about education, we know that this is a major priority in the community. And there's a lot of thoughts about educational success, which is, in many ways a good thing, but sometimes when exacerbated can lead to mental health concerns. And so what does it mean then to be emotionally successful? This is something I was thinking about on the ride up today. And wow, that is a great question to ask. And on the Ed Family YouTube channel, we talk a lot about helping students find out what they're good at so that they can do good with it. So this includes helping students to find their voice and their passion, their purpose in life, and then to help them in that goal so that they can take action, feel a sense of agency, this feeling of I can do something about my situation, and then take compassionate action. Why do Asian American parents sometimes put that pressure on their students? And at the conference, I heard one of the speakers share about how many of the first generation Asian American parents, when they came, the only way to survive was through education, or knowing that the way toward up mobility was through getting the grades to get to the university, get the job. And so now there are many more second generation, third generation Asian Americans, and a lot more focus on happiness, emotional success, right? One of the counselors also had the opportunity to share about mental health and Asian Americans, and how, as a counselor, this counselor, Ryan, he regularly meets with children, students that are going to his school. And oftentimes when talking to them, he says, like, my parents, they have no idea what's going on. In fact, they never talk to their parents. And so he encouraged parents to just ask their kids, hey, how are you doing? Sometimes a lot of kids don't even get that. How are you doing? He mentioned, and he kind of empathized, which I appreciate, with parents. When you ask, how are you doing, it could come across to you as the parent as they don't want to talk about it. But nevertheless, Ryan mentioned, keep on asking, because sometimes as we repeatedly ask those questions, even if we're not getting the answers, what it does is it creates this feeling of, my parents care about me, my parents care about my well-being. What a great recommendation to support with emotional success. Asking our kids regularly, how are you doing? How are you doing? We live in one of the most culturally blessed nations in the world. So how can we be culturally honoring, multicultural, appreciating diversity? This was one of the big questions asked by the South Coast Chinese Community Centers, the question that the Asian American community was asking. How can we appreciate the diversity? How can we support multiculturalism? Also at the Stronger Together conference, there was a student. Her name was Charlotte, Irvine Unified School District graduate. And she shared how, she was very thankful to go to IUSD, had Asian American teachers, which is wonderful. I know that when I was growing up, I never had an opportunity to have a teacher that looked like me, and that also includes like administrators, school boards, and so forth. But so thankful that Charlotte had that opportunity. But she mentioned she's Vietnamese American. She mentioned the only thing that she learned about Vietnam in her entire K-12 experience was about the Vietnam War. She shared that Vietnam is so much more than the Vietnam War, the culture, the language, the heritage. There's so much more, and she wished she had the opportunity to learn more about that. And so that's a part of helping a student know and tell their story. And of course, if we had those opportunities to learn about Vietnam Americans, would that benefit a student like Charlotte? Absolutely, but not just Charlotte. Others would also benefit as well. As a fellow Asian American, I would be enriched by those kinds of stories of resilience, and not just Asian Americans, but all Americans. So how do we foster more emotional success? I have additional videos on helping students to know and tell their stories. I think that's a part of answering another deeper question: who am I?